Hey, welcome back to Matter of Fact. Today we got for y'all the Week 14 recap. Six teams on bye, missing three games. End of the bye weeks. Hopefully y'all made your fantasy football playoffs. I know I didn't. It's a retooling year, which we'll get to a lot of these teams and retooling years. To me, it's like each game you can kind of break it down in terms of importance, like playoff hopefuls, retooling teams, and then college football watchers.
But now in the leagues that you quote unquote retooled, do y'all pick off of the standings of the year before, or is it randomized?
Are you talking about nah, so it's a redraft and it's not. I'm retooling mentally.
Okay, yeah.
It was
I
like a
was
mental
about to,
it's a mental lapse.
I was going to say you didn't tank, you weren't tanking.
Hey man. Me coping Pete.
Hey, it happens like that. Yeah. It was a rough year for fantasy. Lucky I was lucky enough to win, to be going to the playoffs in two of my leagues, but one of my leagues I needed to win this week to get in. I had to play Sam Darnold, Justin Jefferson, Charbonnet, like
Oh
everybody that
yeah,
had a top.
those handcuffs kind of came down to the wire this year in terms of you better save some fab for
Yeah, yeah.
Gerardo and Charbonnet and all that. So
But I mean, like it is like it is what it is. But I lost 166 to 157. So it's almost like if I would have played any other team in the league, probably I win.
that's how it be sometimes, man. Like
Right.
we say, you catch
Oh,
teams at the wrong time, kind of like the
right.
Rams and the Bills, where
Yeah.
it's like, damn, you guys kind of might have to kiss that number one seed goodbye
Yeah.
because you catch
Yeah.
an elite
Saquon
threat.
too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Saquon
Saquon
too.
too.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's tough. That's
Saquon too.
a good team. It
He
sounds like you
he was
deserve to be in the
he.
playoffs.
Yeah. Nah. Shoot, I think he might go ahead and win it for real. Brandon Aubrey is kicker, but
See,
I was able to beat that out because I had Kansas City's kicker.
oh Bucker.
Yeah, I was fighting for my life, bro. I was fighting for my life. I was trying everything I could to be clever. But it's not Buckner though. It's like Wright or something like that because he's hurt. Buckner's
Oh
hurt.
yeah, Matthew Wright. Matthew Wright
Yeah,
used to be on the
yeah,
Lions.
yeah. So,
Mhm.
but it's all good, man. It's all good. Like I said, two for four. I'll take it. Just trying to take some hardware home. Have a good holiday.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to these bowl games. Be tuning into the Pop Tart Bowl, Miami. So
Cheese it, Bo. Where you want to start at? You want to start with Green Bay or?
yeah, we get into Green Bay since it's such an important game.
Yeah, it
And
was an important game.
Lions 12-1, 9-3-1 against the spread, doing their thing. Push this time over like we were talking about. I think with this game we were really pressed on the over, and
Wait,
then
wait, wait. No, 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 no. I thought we got a plus 3.5.
I don't remember. I don't remember
Okay.
because I wasn't taking the spread regardless. Like I was just like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
whatever happens. Oh, but we did kind of settle in on the Packers covering at 3.5. So I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, yeah. It was the 3.5, like the over was something. And I mean, this was a bizarre game for like it to end like how it did. It was very bizarre. Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns, got him in my fantasy league. Shout out to him. But yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about the Christian Watson thing. I'm surprised that Jordan Love didn't get 2 touchdowns. They scored
Oh
31 points,
yeah.
and Jordan Love only got 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Um, so what is your how do you feel about Detroit and their ability or their knack for going forward on fourth down, no matter
I'm
what?
glad you asked that because I tweeted during the game and I just remember this specifically. I'm like, this Dan Campbell, one, you're a madman. Two, th- when it comes to these tight games and the decision making, like when they went for it on their own side of the field, like that type of shit's going to lose you a playoff game. Like you could either seem like but here's the thing: you don't seem like a genius if you do it just no matter what. You know what I mean? It's more like okay, that's y'all.
This is what you do.
Yeah,
And
it's what
I
y'all do.
just and because a few of my man say, bro, this is it's kind of the last one was a little. it was probably a little excessive, but at the same time, it's kind of like when I was talking about in Arizona, where I was mad that like Arizona wasn't like, yo, we don't got 3 yards real quick with all the guys that we got. If we get 3 yards right now,
It's like the opposite with them.
right? They're like, yo, all we need is 3 yards and we win. We win the game, you know. And I get it, yeah. If it doesn't work, they're gonna. It's a hindsight 2020 thing. They're gonna kill them when it doesn't work. They're gonna praise them crazy when it does.
But that's what I'm saying with them. I don't think they get. I don't think they get that. I think it's just like this is what they do. Like, well, I don't think they get killed regardless. It's like, well, look at these 8 other times it worked or something.
And I was listening.
I mean?
I want to say I was listening to my one of my guys, David Hellman, and he said that basically their mindset is this is what you got to do to beat the Chiefs. So every day that they play football, they're not playing football against the team in front of them. You know what I mean? Their goal is to go to the Super Bowl. And then their goal is to win the Super Bowl. In order to go to the Super Bowl, in order to win the Super Bowl, you have to beat the Chiefs. And the way to beat the Chiefs is to not let that man have the ball. You know what I mean? And
not
I
playing it safe.
I think that angle, if you're reading into it like that's the angle that they're going with, I definitely can see what they're working towards. And again, since it hasn't failed them up until this point, and like you said, they've been doing it for the past 2 years. It's part of their personality, and I don't think that I don't think that the media, until it gets crazy egregious, they're going to have to go 0 for 3. You know what I mean? They're going to have to go 1 for 4 on the attempts or something like that in order for them to get slammed out by the media.
Yeah, but still, I don't care if they got it on their own side when they missed it and they scored a touchdown off of that, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they did it to seal the game. They did it to seal the game.
No, I'm not talking about that time. I'm talking about in the middle of the game, they were on their own side, they went for it, and it was a red zone situation for the Packers. And it's like, even if they did get it, I still don't like it. Like, what do you like? And to me, it's like they're just having fun out there. Like, to me, that's just what it feels like. They just have fun out there.
I really just believe also that they're like, yo, we're equipped for 3 yards. We're equipped for 3 yards and under. Like, I just think that
can be, but on your own 30, I'm never.
I agree, but I'm just, you know what I'm saying. I'm saying like it's clear that they're in their own world over there. You know what I mean? In Detroit, it's clear. You know what I'm saying, between Ben Johnson, the head coach, and it's funny because if you think about a tight end, you know what I mean, a tight end's personality. We always said the defensive coordinators or defensive minded head coaches are they're too conservative.
Right.
Well, when you're a tight end, you kind of got that grittiness that the defense has, but also you got that offense in you. Because you're from the offensive side of the ball. So I think that's why we also are catching this happy medium or whatever you want to call it with Dan Campbell, because he's as gritty as the defensive guys, but he feels like he's still got a little bit of savviness like the offense.
Right, because the tight ends, they're pretty much part-time linemen, but at the same time, and we saw it in the Chiefs game, in those moments, you want that big body tight end for either the red zone or, just a safe little dump off. Like, that's your safety valve. So it definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Patrick Bass, I know some fantasy owners are sick. They are sick. They cannot believe that Tim Patrick gets 43 yards with 2 touchdowns.
Yo, if I know nobody did this, but it's shit like this where it's like, I wish if I had the ability to like see the future, this would be my favorite thing to do. Let me put $50 on Tim Patrick 2 touchdowns, Josh Jacob 3 touchdowns.
That was plus 9,000.
Plus 9,000.
Yeah, and what's crazy? Some people took it because it's their hedge. They're just like, oh, okay, whatever. They take them for 1 touchdown, they take them for 2 touchdowns, and it's just the hedge on all their other bets. But it's like, unless you got $500 to just throw on everything that you see on a Thursday night.
That's why I'm trying to be rich. That sounds fun. That sounds like a good life because you're gonna hit on them eventually. You're gonna feel like big brain.
Right. And then back over here. I mean, we kind of called this was going to be a Christian Watson game, and then, but again, was just taken back by the touchdowns only going to Josh Jacobs. But hey, it is what it is.
I'm never betting on Green Bay receivers again. Jaden
What
Reed blew
you?
up my
Oh, Jaden.
yeah
Oh,
he blew my
yeah.
shit up. It's funny well, I'm out of the playoffs regardless, but like Jade, it was funny because I bet on Jaden Reed and he was starting against me, and in a week
Mm,
where it would have mattered, that would have been it wouldn't have been as
important.
bad. Yeah. So, but can't bet on those guys. I mean, I think I took in a one parlay. I think Bo Melton had it was like 8.5. And we talked about Tim Patrick in our preview. Like, yo, it's
Right.
good value. And if you took him, he hit for you in like the first
I mean,
quarter. And you could tell he was going to be active in that offense. So, little sleeper play. Like with the Lions, I feel more confident peeping their trends. Whereas with the Packers, it's like it could be a Wicks week. And then even though Jaden Reed was talking shit about, oh, wait until Detroit.
I mean, they lined up some shots to him. They lined up some shots to him,
Like
and one
two,
of the
he had like two targets, I think.
yeah, but then one of them was a pass interference or whatever. But yeah, I mean, you're right. He wasn't. But it's how it goes sometimes. Oh shoot, I'm messing up. I'm messing up. My bad. Let's let's go ahead. Oh no, go back. Let's go to this one right here. This is just
Well, we could talk about this for about 30 seconds.
well,
Um,
I think we got something to actually talk about here though.
like what?
Will Levis, like we had a conversation. You asked me about Will Levis and what I think the Titans would do. And I said that it's all about the body of work. Part of the body of work is you got to be able to put up more than 168 yards against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, their defense is like one of the one shining spots of their team. So I should have took this under. I was a little afraid of some random surprise over, but this under felt like a lot to me because both of these
Now,
defensive play hard.
now their
So
defense, their
and it's a
defense
division
is
game
is
too. So
yeah, but again, you got. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that you got to win. I'm not saying that you got to. You have to do. You have to play better than he played. You have to play better than he played. You know what I mean? It's just simple as that. And you like when Bo Nix is doing his thing, I come in here and I say, "Yo, Bo Nix he's proving me wrong. He's balling." And this is an X on the this is a red X on the resume. You're at home, and they're without their backup quarterback. I mean, they're without their starting quarterback. They're with Mac Jones, and they're down people too. Yeah, their defense is good. They got some dogs on there, but you still had Tony Pollard, who he held up his end of the deal. Got you 100 yards. Calvin really trying his best. So, I mean, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to have to see a game like this and think that Sam Darnold or one of these free agent quarterbacks that's having a above average season, they might be over there for Will Levis, man. I mean, he got what 4 more games to go.
yeah, so it's funny. His last three games is division games: Texans, Colts, and then he has the Jags again. Chance to redeem himself, but
Right.
it's also a part of it too. I feel like is hey, they probably won't be in the spot to get the top two quarterbacks in the draft, but hey, who says the Titans might not go in the second round and dabble in the middle row to go compete with them?
Well, I mean, if they can't beat the Jaguars, they might. You know
I,
what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
I hope not, but I mean, bro,
oh, okay, okay.
it's
Well.
hard. But it's hard for me to take a lot. I'm sorry, it's just hard for me to take a lot from these division games. Like that next game will
But
probably be something similar. Well, instead it's 11-7 Titans. Like
well,
that's just
I guess for me, it's like, yo, if you can't beat your division, the guys in your division, what you doing here? You know what I mean? Like, but again, that's from the world that I've been dealing with.
well, yeah. That's why
You know what I
I
mean?
mean that's why it's interesting to see how he does with these three out of these last four games. Where it's like,
Right.
let's see what you do against this division. It's the most important part of your season because if we're not liking what we're seeing, and you're done.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No
Because you don't
more,
even
no
have that on
more,
the
no more
resume.
mayonnaise commercials, my guy.
Yeah,
That's done.
you know. And I guess we can kind of talk about Jacksonville. We're not going to do them like that. Tank Bigsby, 18 carries, 55 yards. If you need a guy, he's probably available. Brian Thomas, I mean, man, he's good. He's really good, and he would be even better if he had some competent QB play. But because they miss him on so many throws, but I would go as far as to say that he probably ended up the steal of the draft in that first round, especially when it came to wide receiver, because just based off of where they got him at, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, they got
they
him
got,
like what at the end of the
I want
top like
I want to say
end of
either
the 28,
21. I want to say
yeah,
yeah. So
somewhere around
uh
there.
you know what I mean? And it just he can do everything. I mean, big, fast, strong. He's gonna be a star. Well, when Sunshine gets back and
Well,
they get a new offensive.
it seems like he's out for the season. I don't really think he's out on some shit. I just think let's just shut it down and just keep it
Yeah,
rolling with Mac Jones and
yeah.
try
And
to
I
get
and I'm
like a
also talking
Travis Hunter.
about, what I'm saying, in the future. You know what I'm saying? Not right now, but like I'm talking about next year, his
Oh
sophomore
yeah,
year.
Brian,
He's
yeah,
about to
yeah,
be.
yeah. He's definitely someone I'm targeting in the in fantasy because these second year receivers, they kind of happen to be the guys, whether it's like JSN,
He'll be
your guy.
a yeah, he'll be a second or third round pick in best ball. Early March, second and third round.
Agreed.
All right. Now this is how you do it. This is
That's
how you do it.
that's all I gotta say about this game, man. It's like the Raiders Chiefs game where it's like, we could have had it, but it was a good showing from ugly game, but good showing from our defense. Obviously Dexter Lawrence out for the rest of the year. Bobby O didn't play, and Micah McFadden, one of Joe Shane's better draft picks, probably like in the top 4 or 5 best draft picks since he's taken over as GM. He had 11 tackles, 5 tackles for loss. So he's really doing this thing. But yeah, the goal right now, at least for Raiders fans, for Giants fans, for um, Titans fans, I guess you too. But like I told you, your team's too good. But you want to lose honorably. So honorable loss. And we still
Yeah.
getting killed, but it's the Giants, so we're gonna get killed regardless, as long as Saquon is on his Eric Dickerson shit.
Now, are y'all getting killed, or is that damn Twitter feed of yours? Okay, because I know that
Bro,
Twitter feed you
it's
got.
not just Twitter. It's the pundits, sports pundits, YouTube.
Okay,
It's all over, man. We get killed everywhere, man.
okay, because I know your algorithm. You showed me some of the tweets that you get. I'm like, bro, I ain't never seen none of that. But
Yeah, my algorithm definitely doesn't help for sure. But yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
8 straight L's for the Giants, Saints.
and
Nope.
nobody got injured, right? Nobody that was playing. No one got any bad injuries or anything like that.
So one of the things we've been getting cooked on is our lack of picks. Trey Hawkins, I think he was like a 5th or 6th rounder. He caught a pick this game. That's our second pick of the year, and he's out for the season. So that's unfortunate because these are the games where it's like, let's see what else we got, especially with some of our
Right.
defensive pieces out. And that was somebody that came in with Deontay Banks. That
It's
remember.
important.
Yeah, it's important. So that was unfortunate. So he's out for the year, and that corner room, that's a position of need right there. And
And Drew Phillips is still doing his thing. He's still kind of.
he's doing his thing. Our center, John Michael Smith, he's been struggling, but he had a really good game. So it's like little bits and pieces that I'm looking out for.
I mean, that's all you can do at this point. You got to evaluate. You got to be in evaluation mode. You know what I mean? Part of being a fan is sometimes you got to turn on the GM hat, and we got to see what else we got here.
I've had my GM hat on for like 8 years, man. For a little bit too long, man. It's time for us to get our guy. But speaking of somebody having a guy, man, Bryce Young's real fun to watch, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. Chuba, he seems legit. Unfortunate that Jonathan Brooks seems to be out for the year, but old man Adam Thielen, you know, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think he can ball. I just don't know how healthy he'll be. He's been healthy as hell these past 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, he's been cooking. Might have to take his receptions or yards moving forward, possibly for the rest of the year. Because the Panthers, they're playing for pride right now. They got a
mhm.
lot of shit earlier in the year, but this is why I was a fan of Anthony Richardson getting benched. Because look what happened to Young getting benched, and now he's really balling out there. He's improvising. He's making plays. Legit playmaker. You're starting to see why, despite his size, he was drafted where he was. And then in that same token, CJ Stroud's having his sophomore slump, and things are seeming to balance out there when it comes to comparing those two, and they're going to be tied at the hip moving
Yeah.
forward for the rest of their careers, probably. So,
Look, man, this quarterback shit takes time, whether people like it or not. You know what I mean? One
shit,
of the first things
pretty
we
much,
talked
pretty
about.
much, pretty much every position takes time, low key. I mean, not all of them, but quarterback. That's why we say it's the hardest position, followed by like corner, I'd say. But yeah, man, so
Mhm.
it's a lot going on above the shoulders, and I think he really got his confidence back. And there's only so much confidence could really do. You still got to go out there and play, and he's playing. They could have won this game. And on that note, what's your thoughts on like the whole AJ Brown thing? I think it's really nothing. Wide receivers, they have their little diva moments every couple season, not season, but every moon, every other week, just some diva shit. I mean, it's just funny because what are they on, like a 9-8 game win streak? It's like, bro, like
But
calm
they but
down.
they've done this before. They've seen this shit. So and it's like, yo, we almost lost to the Panthers. You know what I mean?
But we
They're
can't.
like it.
Yeah, but every year there's that team that the record is trash, but they could be a bad beat for you. And the Panthers are turning into
But
that team halfway
but
through the
I
year.
think for
So
Philly, what they're worried about is, yo, we can't we can't we can't have no bullshit
they're
first
they're
round
having they're
out.
having flashbacks of the meltdown. Like we
That's what I'm
don't need none of
saying.
that. Yeah, I got you.
Right. That yeah. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily, it don't matter who it would could have been. I think, you know what I'm saying, probably would have been the same type of game, same type of outcome. Maybe they lose. But it just, I went back to watch this game, and I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. Again, I can tell you about the Kellen Moore offense. Curls, curls, deep balls to AJ Brown, and you can sit on that stuff. Like everybody knows kind of what's good with Buddy. But I think this might
When you
also
say
maybe be a.
buddy, are you talking about Hurts more?
I'm talking about. Well, I'm kind of talking about Kellen Moore, but this might also be a Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts issue, because you know what I mean? Like, there's progressions. Like, I used to tell people, like, look, you gotta understand, like, Dak Prescott going through progressions when it needs to compare Dak and Jalen Hurts or whatever. And it's like, let's see what Jalen Hurts does when he has to go through progressions. Let's see what he does when he has to read the defense, and then he has to play off of the defense, and he has to see, oh, okay, this guy's blitzing. Hey, we got to transition to a slant. Oh, I gotta, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't one read and go. This isn't the Will Levis. I'm not the Will Levis. Uh Who's the backup quarterback for Green Bay?
Malik
Oh,
Willis.
Malik Willis. This isn't the Malik Willis offense, where it's, hey, if he's not there on the first read, go ahead and run. Like, this is a for real quarterback offense, and maybe for Jalen Hurts, that might be exposing him. And maybe Kellen Moore is having a problem adapting to what Jalen works for Jalen, and what Kellen's comfortable with calling.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the Eagles, all biases aside, because obviously I don't like them boys, but something about them just feels like when it comes down to these playoff games, it's Lions might be a bad beat, even the Vikings might be a bad beat for them too when it comes down to these tight moments. And we'll see what Jalen Hurts is really made of. At the end of the day, they came out with the dub. But what it shows me is if they took an L, imagine the response to an L to the Panthers right now. Even though they're what? 8-9 straight games. It would have ended like a long ass win streak.
Yeah, but I mean, I think, again, kind of like what you said, the Panthers, shoot, we looking all right. We losing all right. They're not mad about none of this shit. You know what I mean? From a Panthers standpoint, defense kind of looked okay for whatever reason, and then they lost a running back, and then Chuba just is like, all right, fuck it, I guess I'll carry the load.
I mean, he's been
And
carrying the load all year. I mean, Jonathan
right,
Brooks, like that's kind of like I mean, I think they wish they went a different route for that second
mm,
pick because one, there's a lot of good backs that went into the later rounds. Two, this is a deep running back class, so it's tough that your guy, kind of like the guy
yeah,
over
that's
there in Green
hindsight.
Bay. Yeah, I know it's
That's not,
hindsight. I
yeah,
know it's
because
hindsight, but it's like,
and
you know.
but to play off of that, I wouldn't be surprised if they invested in the position again. You know what I'm saying? Kind of what
Yeah,
you're
because
saying.
he tore his ACL again, right?
Yeah,
That's tough.
snapped it again, and I mean, it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? But
I feel like
it's
they might
clear.
have they might have should have just shut him down for the year, to be
Well,
honest.
I think that's what they wanted to do. But I think again, peer pressure got to him. Yo, where's Jonathan Brooks? What's up, Jonathan Brooks? Because people really wasn't following like that unless you had Chuba in fantasy and needed to know what was going on with Jonathan Brooks, or you had Jonathan Brooks stashed on your IR or something like that. But basically, they waited till like the last possible second to activate his
Activate
his
him.
window. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like if he didn't get activated, he would have been on IR for the rest of the year.
Right.
And I don't think it would have got to that point. That means he was on that list for 21 days. He said he was on the list for 20 of the 21 days. And I don't think it gets to that point if Buddy is running well and he's doing good or his confidence is there. Something was up and they knew it, but they also didn't want to kill the confidence more by shutting them down for the whole season. Even though I think that probably would have been the right play. Obviously, you know what I mean. Now hindsight 2020, but I mean it's unfortunate for him. Again, he was the number one running back in the draft. Probably if he didn't even have the torn ACL, would have been a first round pick. And now we probably aren't going to see him until 2025 or 2026. Honestly,
Yeah, like maybe like halfway through that season, they definitely want to take it easy with him with that draft capital. And the issue is they only had limited draft picks, given some of their recent moves. So we'll see. At least Leggett's working out for him. Probably just need another receiver over there.
He dropped the game winning touchdown,
Yeah, drop's gonna happen though, bro. Well, I mean,
but you
what can
can't
you
drop
do?
that one. You can't drop
Hey,
that one.
if you're a Panthers fan, you fine with that drop.
Well, yeah, yeah. But if I'm on that team, I'm looking at you kind of like, bro. If I'm Adam Thielen and I'm like, bro, I'm busting my ass today. I'm the defense, bro. We just held these motherfuckers to 22. You was about to get us 23. You know what I mean?
Man, yeah,
It's
them
all
niggas got
good
three
though.
wins, so they better not be pointing fingers like y'all about to do something
I
anyway.
mean, but
Just
that,
be
bro,
just
that,
be
but
happy. Just be happy you have that locker room over there in Philly in shambles a little bit. Just be happy with
yeah.
that.
And then this was another one. The Jets are incredible. They're ready for Cabo, man. They're ready for Cabo. But
So there's a Jets fan in my big money league that I was trolling them because New York Sack Exchange, the 30 for 30 is dropping soon, and I forget his name, but Michael Strahan, he has 22 and a half sacks. That's like the most in one season. And Brett Favre, he got sacked by Strahan, and there's like a conspiracy that he let it happen, like they're boys or something like that. And that edge rusher confronted him like, you fell down. You fell down. I thought he was trolling, but he looked like he was about to swing on Favre. I'm like, bro, this shit's like 20 years ago, man. Relax. But I was trolling the Jets fan in my league, and he was like, yeah, I mean, we just need to get Vrabel, and then we'll run it back with Aaron and Devontae. And I'm like, all
oh,
right,
he don't know.
do you
He don't know.
do your thing, man. You
He
have
don't
fun with
know.
that, bro.
And, bro, fans are funny to me. Like I ain't trying to get at your man, but like fans are funny to me. Like you see all this shit going on around the league, and you think a defensive minded head coach was going to solve your problems. Like
If they kept the last one, I just think. I mean, who would be a good hire for the Jets? And in terms of the quarterback position, what would you do?
I mean, I'm plucking a coordinator. I'm plucking a young offensive minded coordinator. If I don't have one in my camp, I'm going over to the Gus Malzahn's. I'm going over to someone. I'm plucking an offensive minded court. Joe Brady for the Bills. I mean, there's guys like offense. I'm going offense. If I got to, I mean, I'm I'm good
Does
with the
like a premium offensive minded like candidate want to go to the Jets with like a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers and
well,
not?
they might not even have Aaron Rodgers. You might be picking, or you might, you know what I mean. They might. It's whatever right now. Garrett Wilson apparently. There's rumors that Garrett Wilson is going to request a trade. So
That would be
you know,
crazy.
and again, it's this is what happens when you don't think this shit through. So, I mean, I'm sure Mike Vrabel will take the job just because he wants to be employed, but I don't know how that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that doesn't bring you back to where you were with the offense being the issue again. It's like, okay, cool, you solved the defensive problem, and the defense is now an issue clearly, but it's like, yeah, you Mike Vrabel solves that, but you can probably solve that with a defensive coordinator. You can probably solve that with somebody else. You don't have to go Mike Vrabel. Whereas Mike Vrabel might even have a good OC in mind.
I feel like a part of why he wants like a Vrabel is to be like
It's
a
a familiar
culture
name.
setter. No, no,
It's
be
a
like a
familiar name.
culture setter, kind of reset things, make it less of the Aaron Rodgers show, kind of rein it in. So I get it from that standpoint. I think it was like any other defensive head coach, I wouldn't
But
get it.
but then you would still need it still don't solve nothing on offense.
I mean,
You
your
know what I'm
boy,
saying?
his boy Hackett is there, bro. So
That's
I
what I
mean,
mean.
yeah, I mean, an offensive coach would be nice because look, he could be there and be your water boy or your chess partner or your drug tripping bag holder, and I'll really call the plays, and you could still have your boy there. So I agree with you though. Like I think
Yeah.
that's the route they should
And,
do.
right. And that's no disrespect to your mans, but he's just not seeing it all the way through.
Well, you
You
gotta
just
understand
know.
this is the same one that like he was like the last one off the Zach Wilson bus. And I was like,
Okay.
you
So
still
it's
you
his
still
team.
giving
So he
him
be holding on to shit.
yeah, yeah, he be
He's just
holding
holding
on
on
to
to
shit.
shit.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. It's like you
Yeah.
not seeing what I'm seeing? All
Yeah.
right, whatever, man. Or what the
But yeah,
world's seeing. All right, man.
Tua coming through. He trying to say this shit ain't my fault. Well, it is my fault because I got hurt. But when I'm here, I can do this. And I mean, yeah, Jaden Waddle. I think this was probably his best game of the season right here. Janu clutch in the overtime coming through. Ain't do
Clutch.
nothing all game. Yo, I got it. Let's go. 3 receptions, 44 yards, game winning tutty. Let's go home. And Janu, again, we talked about it last week, but it seems like he really, really, really loves playing with Tua. Like he couldn't say more about Tua and how he hit him in the last play of the game for them to go home. So, I hope they got a little bit of cap space to keep Janu around because it looked like that's a good little fit there, kind of how we were talking about Baker uh, finding a home last year in Tampa Bay. Looks like Janu kind of did the same thing here in Miami.
Maybe they go ahead and hire like Arthur Smith. Get his boy back. You know.
See, well, you look like Arthur Smith doing all right too over where he at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, but maybe he wants a promotion.
Hell nah. I don't think they fire. I don't think they fire Mike McDaniel's though, because I mean,
No,
like
no,
if
no.
they would,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm tripping. That's not what I meant. Not getting
yeah.
rid of him. But
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I think they're doing their thing, and I mean now they're in the run for playoffs. They might not still make it. They literally have to probably play perfect throughout, which means that they're never winning. They're never losing the game for the rest of the season just to qualify, and then they got to play that first round. But I mean, hey, they something to play for. You know what I mean? And taking for them, they don't really care for that. And
yeah.
honestly,
Besides
Mike
that,
McDaniel
something
might
to
lose their job.
what?
I said also if the record was like super bad, Mike McDaniels might even lose his job. So they're definitely trying to win. They're playing to win.
Yeah, facts. And hey, they're on the bubble. besides playing for potential playoff spots, definitely like one of those pride situations where it's like, we were getting shit on when Tua was gone. If we could just keep him healthy and kind of go into the off season with some momentum and kind of retool and get back in our bag, keep Tua protected, maybe get best lineman available in the draft, and see what we could do in that division.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they were going to try to compete. They lost their quarterback for a month. Kind of screws you up, but it is what it is. The Steelers just can't. They just can't stop winning football games. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the playoff picture right now, and yeah, man. I mean, it looks like they're going to win that division. It's obviously still not over with yet, but I mean, do you want to play the Steelers? Who wants to play the Steelers round one?
Hey, I mean, all the jokes we got for Russ, bruh, and you know what I mean. It just works here. It just works here. He's not even having crazy games, but he's efficient.
And no George Pickens
And
either. So
right,
don't have that 70-30 ball because George
yeah,
Pickens. That's not a 50-50 ball with yo. So
yeah,
yeah, this
yeah,
is a good game. They got their lick back from a couple weeks ago. Kind of saw this coming. Like this was an
right.
easy throw. Steelers money line in your parlay. Keep it safe. They should take this one home, even without George Pickens. And yeah, man, Russell Wilson, he's doing his thing. Like I said, sometimes like you need to get humbled and bounce back, and then boom, doing what needs to be done. Mike Tomlin making the risky move of even going to him. We're really working out, really showing, hey, this is why I'm here. This is why I have this job. This is why I don't have a losing season. I know what I'm doing over
Well,
here.
I mean, I think he should win Coach of the Year.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of people that got, but who can? Yo, he probably got their payroll is probably the cheapest quarterback payroll in the NFL.
But then that's like some GM of the year thing. I think depending on how the
I mean, he's
Chargers
the
end up,
he's the
maybe
coach.
Harbaugh, because if they win, because is there a bigger swing of like just coaching and just the overall culture than Brandon Staley to Jim Harbaugh
Yeah, but see, they got
with what
if they
they're
have the
working with?
better.
There's
If the records were the same, they would give it to Jim, and they might even still give it to him.
yeah, I
But
think
I
if
think
they're
Mike,
like a game or two
I,
off,
I think,
because
because
here's
they
the thing.
lost, they just lost to
Here's
the Chiefs. That
well,
Chiefs loss was loss number 5.
yeah, but here's the thing. What he's suffering from is like, bro, you kind of always do this. You always, you're always winning. We remember a couple
Which
years
is why
back
he
where y'all were
deserves
11
one.
and 0,
I think
where
that's why I
he
think
doesn't
he
have a coach
deserves.
of the year under his
Yeah,
belt.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
so you're
bro,
doing like a long do, kind of like
not
Leonardo
even long due.
DiCaprio. Like
It's
you
not
should have
even
been
that,
got an
bro.
Oscar, so we're gonna give you an Oscar because you should have been had an Oscar type of
I
way.
mean, I think he deserves it for this. I think he took 2 cast off quarterbacks, and then he has his team at 10-3.
I don't know. I
Huh?
mean, we can talk about that some other time.
Yeah,
I
but I'm
just
just
think
saying, yeah.
with the limited, like with what the Chargers are doing with the limited like weapons they have
What
and
they
how
got
that
Justin
defense is
Herbert.
playing.
They have a maxed out QB.
Yeah, but
He can
they don't have the
55 a
weapons. There's
year.
no George Pickens over there though.
He is the weapon. If he 55 mil,
Yeah, he's like that. We know he like that.
but that's what I'm
But
saying. Though.
what
So
are they
it's like
coming
it's
off of?
like
What was their record last year?
probably
Chargers.
6-7-10, 6-11.
All right, so we gotta look at what they were last year and the impact like that though. You know what I mean?
But what is the impact? Because they're not leading their division. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Well,
I
they have
mean.
the Chiefs in the division, and the Chiefs have
But
devil
right,
magic.
but that's what I'm saying. So by how usual coach of the year and all that stuff works, it's the person that is leading the division, all those prerequisites. Mike Tomlin is not.
Hey,
Never
look.
done.
He a candidate for sure, but
I mean,
I just don't think
and this is a
he's a
tough year.
candidate for sure.
It's a
It's
tough
a
year
lot. It's
for
a
him.
lot of good candidates.
But
You could even look at like a Sean Payton. You could look at Dan Campbell. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's a lot of options for sure. this game. This looks like a typical Raiders game, losing by about 10 or so. Keeping it tough by halftime, and then just kind of let that joint go.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Shout out to the Bucks. The Falcons are kind of imploding on themselves, so it looks like they'll be back in the playoffs, leading that weak division. And I think this is their last chance of having like an easy. It wasn't looking easy before these past couple of weeks. I think the Falcons are on like a 4-game losing streak, but hey, man, the Panthers have a good draft. That might be your competition moving forward. Or if Michael Penix comes in and does this thing. But we'll get to the Falcons. Your boy Sean McCormick didn't really get to him because I was so focused on Bauer. So, you could give that boy his flowers.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like you said, regular. I mean, Bucks did their thing. Sean McCormick, I picked him up, my fantasy leagues or whatever. He looks like he's gonna be a solid little back. So that's a nice person to have. And then also just kind of keep an eye out for Bucky Irvin. He left the game in the second quarter, didn't come back, which led to Rashad White going back to his original lead back role.
And they still got Sean Tucker, 3-headed monster over there, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he only got 3 touches.
Bro,
he did his thing
on Sean Tucker, man. Every time I try to give Sean Tucker his flowers, you gotta be like, yeah, but blah blah. Nah, bro, they got a nice 3-headed monster over there, 15 yards of carry. What's up?
I mean, I don't know what that's. What you want me to say? You want me to give him the ball? Like they gave him the ball 3 times. They gave this man the ball 17. Isn't that a significant amount? Isn't that different?
Yeah, it isn't 5 to 15 average
right.
a significant
so
amount.
Give him more carries. Give him 10 and 10.
Don't need to.
Give him 10 and 10.
Don't need to when you playing the Raiders, man. Maybe they're saving them for the playoffs.
Okay, save him for the playoffs. You had him on ice all year. You needed it, you know what I'm saying? And like I don't got no problem with it, but it's clear it's a 2-headed monster. That was about to be my next thing. Sean Tucker is another player that you can go ahead and pick up in your waivers if you're still in the fantasy.
Now let's pick him up. You funny. McMillan,
I can show you my waiver wire, bro. He's already
scooped.
So you know what I mean. I ain't no capping my reps, but yeah, McMillan. The craziest thing about that, one of the people I watched, he said he was almost so sure. He was like, yeah, he's gonna score this week. He was like at plus 600, he's gonna score, and he scored twice. I mean, he scored the first one before it even
for. This week for the betting show, make sure you figure out what he says, man. Bring that back.
We'll see. He's never been so sure about something without saying it outright. It was crazy. He was basically just like alluding to the fact that, like, yeah, everything he's gonna score this week. This is gonna be the week where he scores. And literally, first drive, touchdown. I was like, that's incredible. And he's never, I mean, he talks fantasy. It's fantasy footballers, but like they talk all the time and they never guarantee something.
Oh, it's the fantasy footballers?
Yeah. And on the Friday
what's funny about them and just the fantasy podcast in general, you can see the drop off in viewership as players get eliminated from the fantasy playoffs. I've been stopped watching them. I'm like, man, I'm cooked. Fuck this.
Well, see, I'm loyal to the crab, so I'll be learning from them and shit. And they do like little best bets of the week, little props, little DFS plays. So they give you a little bit of other stuff where you can just add it to your arsenal of information.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm finna do since I'm gonna be heavy on DFS this weekend, probably for the rest of the year. Take a look at that.
This game is the game that knocked me out, got me out the paint. Sam Darnold. I mean, I don't know if this is just the Falcons. I don't know if it's the Falcons and just a mixture of the Falcons and the Vikings. But I mean, damn, you only had 6 incompletions. You doing some Jared Goff type shit.
Again, man, I try to tell you about that boy Sam Darnold, man. I try to tell you about you.
I mean, yeah, you can tell me about him against the Falcons. But when he does it against a defense that's better than the Falcons, I'll give it.
I would love for the Vikings to play the Eagles round 1 because I think that's just going to be an interesting matchup. See the difference in just the coaching clash right there. But
I mean, this is crazy.
Oh my god,
this is just
Those are you see how weird these numbers are? 8 receptions. There's 1 reception off, 1 yard off, and 1 touchdown off. That's wild. And you would think it would be Addison on top, but it's Jefferson. And it kind of just goes to show, like, that's top
They couldn't
3.
get one. They couldn't
Top
get
3.
one touchdown to the running back, bro. Oh, he did. He got 1. He got a touchdown. Well, okay, give him a few more touchdowns. Damn.
Would you have Aaron Jones in fantasy or something?
No, I was going against Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson, same team.
Oh, true.
So he got all of that money. He got all of it. He collected it all.
You trying to find some way to cope, but yeah, that Aaron, boy, they just scored 6 touchdowns on these boys.
That's not like I'm coping.
You're like you couldn't get. I mean, you were looking for something like. See, man, like they were just feeding the receiver. No.
You scored 6 touchdowns. I gotta respect you eating like this. I cannot hate on you doing this. Fuck my fantasy team, bro. I'm not one of those type of people, bro. Like, dog,
bro, how you gonna say you're not one of those type of people when you were like you couldn't give? You wouldn't have said that.
Because that would have helped me win. But it's like, they still.
All right, then. So that's a contradiction, man. That's a contradiction, bro. You said you're not one of those people, but you saw, man, you couldn't give one to Aaron Jones.
Because it's like, give it to Aaron Jones so that.
All right, but he got one, so you are one of those type of people.
And then what I say? Oh, actually, they gave him one.
Yeah, because you were wrong. You had to say that. Right. What else would you say? What else could you say? What are you talking about?
So what do you want me to say? Like, I'm like, I'm literally, bro, I'm telling you, if he keeps on doing this shit, he's literally like, you the king of like covering your ass. You funny, bro. I'm literally, matter of fact, I gotta be like, I want to be particular with what I'm saying.
You just all over the place. 1 second you're not one of those fancy dudes, but you started off with that, and then now it's like you just funny, bro.
It's like, my team lost by 9 points, and he had all of this, and so I can't even get like I said to you earlier. I was like, I can't even get mad at that, bro. I can't get mad. Like, Sam Darnold just did his thing, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, is this just what the Vikings is on right now, or is this the Falcons?
It's kind of what they've been on. I think there was just that dip where he threw like 5 picks. Was that him or Jared Goff that threw? I think it was Sam Darnold.
No, Jared Goff threw 5 picks in a game, but he had games where like he was taking a lot of bad sacks, missing throws, and had interceptions. But I mean, shit. Yeah, I don't know. He still took 4 sacks in this game against an Atlanta team that really not known for sacking the quarterback. But hey, he got it figured out.
Yeah, so, it's interesting. So I mean, what do you do with him? Because they got him for like 1 year. Do you extend him?
You extend him. If he plays Philly and he does this against Philly, he's getting an extension, bro.
Yeah, you got to, because at the end of the day, I mean, shit. Penix had a redshirt year, and that nigga like 25. JJ McCarthy 21. You could sit for a couple years, my boy, while learn under Sam Darnold.
Yeah, NBA players be in the league till 35, 37, bro, and they come in at 19. That 4 years he's sitting on that bench ain't gonna kill nothing.
Especially when you're 21, bro. Like just the fact that he's 21, the Vikings are in a prime situation, and this is like a reverse revenge game, or not a reverse, but this is one of the worst revenge games I've ever seen. I mean, 2 picks, and then it's like the Vikings just look smart as fuck. Like, oh, you wanted this bad coming off that injury, old man? No, you can have them. You can have them. We're gonna spend this money wisely, and you're just seeing like what a good front office. This is what they cook up. Now they're in a prime situation. And unlike the Falcons, and I said this from the jump, I said it was a dumb move from the jump. It looks even dumber now. It looks maximum dumb as shit in this game. You paid Kirk Cousins. You have probably one of the more NFL-ready quarterbacks sitting behind him for what? You could have invested that money into the defense where you guys can't generate a pass rush and make it easier for your rookie quarterback. And then this year just seems like a wash. Yeah, this was one game, bro. It's one game.
But
whole body of work. Falcons just look like, compared to the Vikings, a team that impulsive. That's the word that comes to mind. Just impulsive.
Well, it's also organized. I mean, I think again, this is another. Was this Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell.
I think he'll probably be the one that ends up winning Coach of the Year.
He's definitely
I think he's the one that will end up winning it. I mean, you know what I mean. To do it with Sam Darnold is the same as doing it with Russ, essentially. Maybe even worse. You know, so
maybe even more impressive despite the difference in weapons. So
that's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. So you know what I mean. And I think this is like he's an offensive coordinator. We know for a fact like this is his offense that's getting this done. The coaching staff is great. You know what I mean. Kevin Flores is doing his thing, but Brian Flores is doing his thing. But I mean, they're 42 points, bro. Both your wide receiver 1 and 2, like.
And I said this the last time, like this is not a team you want to see round 1 because and then Aaron Jones, forget what he could do on the ground, like he's one of the better pass catching backs in the league, so they could get creative on you.
Yeah, and I mean right now, if I'm them, I'm just like, yo, we just trying to get Aaron Jones to the playoffs. Like we don't give a fuck about what you know what I'm saying, about these next 2-3 weeks, this next month of football. Like let them be healthy. What they got Cam Akers over there. They got Cam Akers and Todd Chandler. Get them some work.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we should look out for that. We should look out, see how smart they really are, because that's the move right there. Because I'm looking, they have a 99%. I mean, they're 11-2, right? That's one of a top 3-4 record in the league. They're definitely making the playoffs. Now it's about because they're still a game behind the Lions, and let's actually look at that. Let's look at
standings.
Just who the Vikings have coming up, just to see if potentially.
I'm pretty sure they got one with Green Bay still.
Oh my God, yo! This might go down as like one of my favorite watches for a regular season. They got the Lions week 18 on January 4th, coming off New Year's, hungover after New Year's, and you got a banger that actually matters, which is important. Everyone's playing their starters. God, yo. I mean, so they got the Bears next up, then they got the Seahawks, then they have the Packers, and then they have the Packers the day before my birthday. Man, week 18, that shit's gonna be too tough. I hope these records are what they are too. I hope these records are what they are, and or whatever type of combo. Like let's say the Lions drop one, whatever. I want that to be winner takes a division, straight up.
Yeah,
ideally, just as a fan.
That might be for the awards. That might be for the division and for Coach of the Year.
Oh yeah, because could easily be Dan Campbell himself. So
yeah, so that'll be that. Yeah, that's gonna be a nice little race. I mean, they said that the Green Bay Packers are like the best third place team in like NFL history, or like since like 1951.
I think they also said something like this division and how everyone's performing at this time of year is like the best since like the 60s or some crazy shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's really, that's why that Thursday night game was so important. And once again, I keep singing the praises of Bezos. I know everybody be on that eat the rich shit. But as an NFL fan, Thursday night games have been bangers, man. We coming off Packers, Lions. We got Rams, Niners this week. And say what you want about the Rams and how, they already got their Super Bowl. They came off to that bad start where they were really hurt. They're still in it in this division. Speaking of this division.
Yeah, we'll get to that game.
Hold on. Yeah, man, back to the NFC West, though. This is a game I didn't want to call. I took the under in this game, which it started off hot, and I was like, damn, we're cooked. We're cooked. And it was close. Under was close to hitting.
Until Kyler started throwing them interceptions.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's these two teams are two of the more wishy-washy teams in the league to me, which is why when they clash, I want no parts. I'll just sit back and enjoy it. But like we kind of alluded to earlier, if you happen to scoop up Charbonnet, this is what you needed, man. There's a lot of people who scooped up Charbonnet and they need
Well,
a
they
one
had
game.
him on ice. You know
Huh?
what I mean? They
Oh
had him on ice.
yeah. Probably wasn't available in a lot of leagues, actually.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so it was funny because my man, the dude I was playing, he had Kenneth Walker. And so I'm over here looking at Kenneth Walker's shit, trying to make sure Kenneth Walker not playing. And then he inserts Charbonnet. I'm like, oh my God.
That's how you gotta do with them backs, man. That's why you gotta have that handcuff and don't let that joint go, man.
Yeah.
Because we don't want injuries. We don't pray for injuries. We hate injuries, but they're gonna happen.
Yeah. And he had one hell of a game. It's funny because not even fantasy, like draft leagues, they love Charbonnet. They're like, yo, I wish he didn't get drafted by Seattle because he would be a starter in the league. You know what I mean? Like he has that kind of talent.
And then that's when I'm like, well, if I'm a Seahawks fan, I'm like, fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Fuck all that shit,
You know what I mean? Sometimes two-headed monster. It works. It worked itself out this week. So
and he got active, man. 22 carries, and then he had 7 catches on his own. So got active in the pass game. So how you feeling about this division, though?
I mean, they locked it up. They'll probably end up. They're not going to win out, but they'll probably win enough games at this point to where this was. I think like this game right here was the battle for the division, right? And you know what I mean. For some reason, Seahawks just had the Cardinals' number, and Geno played a solid game.
Now hold up, that's what I'm saying. This Rams game on Thursday, Rams could go 8-6 right now, and then
And then we back to it. It's the same thing, but right now.
Oh my God! And guess who the Seahawks got Week 18, man? Let's take a guess.
The Rams,
the LA Rams.
So yeah, and I mean you can tell. We'll get on that Rams game, but like if you watch them play, you could tell that it was a playoff atmosphere. When they played,
they said we not done yet, man. Looking at the rest of the schedule, we in the mix too.
So, bet right here, this one, a lot of people wanted to take the Bears coming off the coach firing, but the 49ers just wasn't having that shit.
That was me. They didn't shut out first half. I was like, rip that ticket up. That's cooked. Just off the Bears for the rest of the year. Y'all go ahead and get your whatever coaching. I don't know. How you feel about this, man? Because it's funny. We went into the year and everyone's like, this is the best situation a rookie quarterback has ever been in and all that.
I mean, it looked good up until a month ago, though. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to blame it on the 2 games, but it looked real promising until the situation with
the Hail Mary.
With the Hail Mary, and then the kicking situation or whatever, where they were getting ready to beat Green Bay and they missed the kick or it got blocked or whatever, or something happened. Yeah, I mean, it's those, you know what I mean? Those two games alone shift them to 6. You know what I'm saying? To what 6 and 7? It's a little different. It's just a little different, and I mean, that's not even including the Lions game that got Buddy fired, where that should have at least went to overtime. Right. So that's 3 games right there that could have. 2 of them definitely should have went their way, and 1 they should have had the opportunity to fight for it in OT.
But listen to 2 of the games that you even just mentioned. We were just talking about this is the craziest division that we've seen, and they just happen to be in that division. So even though team construction wise, this was a great situation for a rookie quarterback. You couldn't ask for a worse division to be in for a rookie quarterback.
I mean, from the competitive standpoint, we got nobody slacking. Nobody's lacking. And 49ers was like, yo, okay, we just got to get a win. We just got to see the ball go in the hoop. And that's what they did. Shout out Isaac Garinda. If you were able to pick him up, he kind of held you down real crazy. I obviously got hurt too, but that's how the game goes. George Kittle, 151, Juan Jennings, wide receiver.
I don't want to talk. Because remember, I told you that they combined for him and Purdy combined for 4 points in a week where I really needed them.
I gotta have it week.
Yeah, gotta have it week. That was the game that eliminated me. And then the week after, this is what y'all want to do. All right,
Get to
that's
work.
cool. That's
But
cool.
see, no, but that was an unfortunate situation because they were in a snowstorm. Yeah, the snowstorm was kind of like that because I didn't play.
Man, just do a quick, a couple tight end screens, Shanahan. God damn, bro.
And that they probably, and you know, their game plan probably just got all fucked up once C-Mac went down.
And that use check fumble at the goal line too. That was pretty much the end of that game, and then it was just a on pouring, not just the snow, but the Bills belt to ass. But the Rams, I mean, for how close this game was, it really didn't feel like it. It kind of felt like the Rams had this in hand all game, and then Josh Allen doing Josh Allen like things, that explosion towards the end, onside kick away from possibly winning this one, and now like I alluded to earlier, Chiefs probably locking down that number one. Now you gotta go through Arrowhead again, man.
Yeah, Khalil Shakir. Hopefully, they're ready. They look like, even though, like we said, the Rams, they're fighting for something too. They really needed to win that game in order to kind of still stay neck and neck with Seattle, and they kind of came out that way. Like they came out, like you said, they kind of were in control the entire game. Every time it felt like every time Josh Allen,
there was a response. Yep.
Yeah, like every time Josh Allen was on his Superman shit, getting his team down there.
It was that boy Puka. He's like, man, don't sleep on me. If you see like the start of a receiver's career, he's like top 3 in like receiving yards, surprisingly, along with like Odell and Justin Jefferson.
JJ and Randy Moss, I think.
Yeah, so shout out to Puka, man. He even got himself a rushing touchdown, 5 carries, man.
I mean, he's the real deal. I actually got him in our league, so I'm hoping he came back at a good time for me and shit.
Yeah, he absolutely went crazy, and then it's just. And did you see the what's it called? Post game like locker room. They were like, all right, let's go beat the Niners. Let's go beat the Niners. And then that's why this Thursday night game, man, really important. It's time to try to take that shit from the Seahawks. They're looking good. Mike McDonald getting that defense together. And, you just have a lot of – it's like a coaching masterclass in this division between Gannon, McVay, Shanahan.
And I'm kind of interested to see what Mike McDonald has for this McVay offense, like in regards to
we'll see the same week where we get that Lions Vikings, man.
Right. So
we'll get to see that.
Yeah. And I mean, again, with Buffalo, I don't know what you could say. Like Josh Allen, that's even in a loss, I don't know how you can't say that that's not an MVP day right there. This man was the running back and the quarterback.
Yo, yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, he deserves one. Like, I feel like he kind of, assuming how they finish out strong, I feel like he locks that up for himself. If I'm a Ravens fan, I kind of don't want Lamar to have a third one just for like, that pressure, and they're like, hey, let's just focus on getting to the playoffs, doing our thing. We don't fuck the regular season awards,
Right. I mean, they're not in it for rewards anymore. You know what I mean? At this point, we trying to achieve something else greater than the individual award. But Chiefs just chiefing.
Chiefing. That's why I can't wait till this Christmas game. Whether you're a big Beyonce fan or you're a fan of Voodoo, Chiefs Steelers should be interesting. It's going to low key an important game in reality. With how these divisions are shaping up and the fight for the number 1 seed. But that's another team that I'm curious to see what they got going on. So they got the Browns this week, and then they have the Texans, they have the Steelers, and they end out with the Broncos, who are feisty, week 18. And the Broncos in their own right, pretty much, the way they're playing, they should lock up a playoff berth. Even though right now they're the 7th seed, they're really fighting hard. I mean, there's 4, 8, and 5 teams in the AFC.
Yeah, Puga. I mean Isaiah Pacheco. It looked like he was getting close to being, back, which is insane to me. Like this man broke his tip, like he broke his leg, and he's back on the football
That's
field.
that 2024 sports science, man.
Like football players are just different.
Great year to be an athlete. Yeah, that too. I remember back in the day, the only athlete that we know really came back from, I know it's not Achilles, but just for something like an Achilles tear was like Dominique Wilkins to come back and really come back stronger. And that was like a one-off. And now we're seeing this all over. So, I mean, it's good to see, for those athletes, their families, those teams, and then, the fans in the league. So shout out to Pacheco. Hopefully he stays healthy. And yeah, man, you just got to respect what the Chiefs are doing. They're getting a lot of criticism for how they're winning, but
winning. Something that I just found out today is they get first downs at a absurd rate. So it's like their shit is ugly and it doesn't look good, but
when it matters,
they just get first downs. Yeah.
And we saw that at the end of this game where, Mahomes, he gets
saw it last year in OT in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They just
there's just no one else you want behind there besides Andy Reid, Mahomes, and then Kelsey getting a lot of shit for quote unquote he's washed. Once again, I just watched the Super Bowl, not falling for it. That's still Travis Kelsey. That's still that guy.
So I mean, that's another. That's just one of those things with the Chiefs, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. The Chargers, again, Harbaugh. I don't know how you feel about his clock management at the end of the game. He burned all the timeouts before the 2-minute warning, or you just kind of like that's just how the game goes. What?
Once again, division game. At the end of the day, you just have to be happy with the year this team's having. Unlocking, you're not asking Justin Herbert to play hero ball anymore, and you have this defense playing up to snub. It was the big thing in the offseason was between Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Bosa, and Khalil Mack, who we keeping. I thought it was going to be 1-on-1. They're like, we don't need receivers over here the way I play. Give me QJ, Jalen Reagor, Palmer. We'll draft Lab McConkey in the second. Give us the lineman in the first. We don't need Malik Neighbors. And it's working out for them. And, yeah.
You know who looks different, though?
Who?
Like Derwin James. I'm
glad he is because he was getting a lot of shit last year. And I was like, they make the right coaching hire and they, get some juice back in this locker room and, in practice and whatnot. And Derwin James still Derwin James. So I'm glad to see him getting active,
Yeah. I mean, he's just the original Swiss Army knife. He's just a dog. He's a dog. He having one hell of a season this year.
Love to see it. I mean, that defense. You got to shout out that defense. And, of course, Harbaugh for bringing in. I mean, you could just see it in the belief that he puts in these players because, obviously, Quentin Johnston doesn't have hands, which is funny for a first-round wide receiver. But you could tell he's playing way better than what we expected from him in his sophomore year. And I think a lot of that has to do with the empowerment that Jim puts in these boys. Even Herbert coming off some of these woulda, coulda, shoulda ass years. And you see that with the defense too and Derwin James. They're leaders.
Yeah.
So your boys, like you said, this is an honorable loss.
Yeah, but ours ended up being fucked up. So it would have been an honorable loss, but we lost Demo Armstrong.
Oh yeah.
20s year. So that kind of
that's sickening.
That set it back. I mean, terrific year he's having. Looks like he's going to be a special player, just electric on the football field for the football team. Everybody was devastated after the game. Because of that. The loss is one thing. The bullshit with the punt. I mean, I don't care how bad he feels or all that. I know motherfuckers be talking like, oh no. You have to have accountability. Know the rules. Know the rules. Don't touch the football. You don't touch the football, we win the football game. Whether I want to win the football game or not, when it's time to compete, I'm trying to win. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the team, the coach, he ran a play that got a block punt. You on the special teams, hey, we block the punt, block a kick, don't touch the ball. You don't touch the ball. And the way he even went to go, what made me mad was the way that he went to go attack the ball looked like he was uncomfortable doing that shit.
Well, of course he was, because it's one of them things where I know I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. And it's one of those moments where it's like it's tough because y'all special teams have been one of the best these past couple of years. And it's one of those rare gaffes that you guys just had where it's like I mean, how mad could you be? I get it. I get it though.
Man, but I'm not mad about a lot of shit.
When y'all special teams ball out the way y'all do, I mean, it's just like the law of averages. You're going to have these kind of moments from time to time.
But I mean, like again, like in the outside of Demo being gone probably until 2026, it's like okay, like I'm not tripping, but there's things that's where I'm watching the game and like I watch the game closely because I know for a fact Mike McCarthy's not tanking. You know what I mean? Like our football team is not tanking. We're actually trying to win. And it's like, bro, you're trying to win, and Rico Dowdle was ripping off runs, but we're throwing the ball with Cooper Rush like after Rico rips off a 14-yard run, 27-yard run. Like he averages seven yards a clip. What are we doing? Like this should be opposite. This should be 21 pass attempts, and like 25 carries. Like
maybe they felt like, Cooper Rush is hot, man.
No, you're not. You're not. I mean, if you watch the game, I never know how other people like what they're looking at when they watch football, but it's like there's no way people are actually watching the football game and are like looking at this quarterback and like, oh yeah, this is a competent quarterback. This is a quarterback.
I mean, he's a backup. He's probably like a top backup.
He averaging 5 yards a fucking pass. 6 yards a pass. He ain't a top backup. He just got a good defense. And you know what I mean? And it's just like, but the thing
it's funny because that was my mindset taking y'all to cover, which is, hey, you guys are getting a lot of pieces back on defense, and that's the reason why he went on a 6-game winning streak when Dak went out that year, was because of the defense and the special teams. So I think, this is going to be a closer game than people expect. And
I mean, the weirdest part about it is that it could have been. The weirdest part about it is like Mike McCarthy, bro, stop running curls. Stop running curls. Like, oh my God. Cooper Rush missed an egregious throw to CeeDee Lamb at the end of the game. Oh my God, he turns the wide receiver. First of all, he's one-on-one. He's on the X, he's on the outside. We got trips over here to the right, and he's one-on-one with the cornerback. The safety is 25 yards down the field. He can't even get there. Cooper Rush gonna drop back and throw that shit to Jake Ferguson over his head, non-catchable ball. The CD turned the corner around. He turned the corner around. He's looking for the ball, and he's just like, yo, this is crazy. And it's like, you're one-on-one. It's like, bro, Jamar Chase. If Joe Burrow sees Jamar Chase one-on-one, what do you think he do?
Bro, but that's the problem. We putting too much on Cooper Rush's plate, which is the source of your frustration.
Which is everything though, because it's like that's why it's like Mike McCarthy. They were just singing your praises, kinda, and then you come out and you do this dumb shit. Then not even like the Rico thing is like, okay, I love this. Like I love watching Rico run, and I told you he probably gonna be running for the Ravens next year. Or he gonna be on San Francisco,
and maybe LA,
but like a good team, like a good playoff team that's like currently fighting for like a contender. He's gonna be on the Contenders football team next year, and he's gonna play well. He's gonna be a compliment to another player. But it's like, bro, what are you doing? Why like 18 carries when you don't have a good quarterback? Like, bro, like. We need to just run the ball to keep the clock moving.
It should have been about 25.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? And it's just you see things where it's like, okay, whatever. But nonetheless, Bengals, Joe Burrow, love watching that man play. Honestly, like I know it's cliche or whatever, but like he just reminds me so much of like just the way he moves around in the pocket and his escapability just reminds me of Tony. Like, bro, he can escape the pocket, eyes still downfield, can throw a strike to Chase, throws a strike to him, and bro,
they're just fun to watch, and it's just dope to we don't see it often. I know we have that sort of what Hurts and Devontae Smith, but when you have somebody like Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow on that LSU team, and to have that in its NFL form, which is why the Bengals need to do right by that duo, cough up some bread, and keep a competent team around them.
I mean, I think that we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Joe Burrow spoke out about it, said that he'll do whatever he can in his power to make sure that T's still here. I think that means a lot coming from the quarterback. But at the end of the day, he don't write the checks.
And Chase, he wants that money.
And he wants to get paid more than Jay Jettis.
You saw the shirt. You saw the shirt he was wearing.
7-11, 177. I don't know. Motherfucker might be right.
Always open indeed. 14 catches, 177, 2 tutties, leading receivers in yards right now.
Yards. So, I want to say yards, touchdowns, and maybe receptions.
What are we talking about? Another Triple Crown?
He might be on his way. And I think that might be what he's playing for. You gotta give me my money if I get this Triple Crown.
You gotta give that boy his money. You gotta give that boy his money regardless. Like,
right, that's what I'm saying.
Because now we used to have JJ isolated. I think you just have to put them both there. And that it's them two, and then everybody else. Y'all fighting for third.
Yeah. And I mean, it sucks for CD because I know he probably really wanted to go off in this game, but it's like, buddy, you don't got the arm talent, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing all he could. I mean, his route running is crazy. He was always open. He could have been wearing that shirt.
Right, you know what I mean. But it's just
you know who else? Actually, I'm not even going to get to it, but rewatching that game, this guy was open all game. Like I need a quarterback so fucking bad, man.
Yeah, but I don't know how people can do it. Like, I mean, I know your boy AJ is a Raiders fan, bro. I mean, I really want him to get Shador so bad because
that's pretty much a lot. And honestly, it clearly Dion he wants a place where he could kind of have his influence,
have his hand.
There's none of that over here with the Giants. So I'll take Cam Moore. It's cool. Hey, my boy already said I'm willing to take a pay cut to win. That's what I like to hear. So
I mean, yeah. Who said that?
Cam Ward.
Oh, well, he ain't gonna take no pay cut.
I know, rookie contract, but he's talking about in the future, like when it comes down to that.
Yeah, we'll see. Hold him to that. When his agent doing work. We'll see.
Yeah. Hey, angry letter to the agent. Hey,
right. That's what I'm saying. Because he can say whatever he wants
with the attachment. Like, hey man, I know what he want to do.
Right. You know what I mean? So, but the agent gonna be like, hey, from now on, you don't talk about contracts anymore.
Yeah, that's my job. That's like, nigga, fuck your cut. Hey, Cam, maybe pull Lamar, Mama Duke's agent.
I mean, again, y'all would be an exciting team if y'all, can continue on the agenda that you got for your squad. Go ahead, secure that second place. Jaguars with the Titans over here being retarded. So you know what I mean.
I'm not really worried about them. I think they're just going to split with the Jags right now. It's Vegas, us, New England, Carolina, Jags, Tennessee. Jags,
New England's a sneaky one. See, New England sucks because New England, damn, they could be sitting pretty. They get to like 4 or 5 because they can trade back, get some assets, and really get to work.
Or do they want to do that? They just lock up Travis Hunter.
I mean,
You
if
trade
they
back,
don't,
you're not getting them.
yeah, but maybe you don't trade back too far. You still get the best wide receiver on the board or best lineman on the board. I guess it's all depending on what they want for their QB. You know what I mean? Do they feel because
And
if
I
it's left
mean,
tackle, I'm trading back. If it's left tackle, I'm trading back. But if it's like, nah, we're gonna take one of these dogs that wide out, you already know what it is.
yeah, all depends on what Gerard Mayo is feeling. He was he a linebacker, I think.
Yeah,
So
defensive minded head coach.
the defensive guy, so they might be messing with linemen. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that for that. Matter of fact, next up, we're gonna have that Thursday night preview. A lot more bets, a lot more trends and stats and things like that. And then we didn't do like love lock this week. Had a lot going on. It's the holiday season, but we'll get back to it. And we got a full slate this week. So good luck in your fantasy playoffs if you happen to make it. And we're gonna get
grind
to
hard tonight. Grind hard tonight. Waiver wire. I said grind hard tonight.
Yeah. Them waivers. Time to spend up that fab, man. Get your team right, man.
Right. But yeah, matter of fact, like and subscribe.